Welcome back to the Gentleman Ultras YouTube channel. I'm Richard Hall as always, and we'll start with Juventus. We'll start in Corriere dello Sport. Juventus nightmare, it says here. Now it's interesting because there's quite a few different stories have come out about Juventus since the weekend's defeat against Milan. A lot of people predicting that Pirlo is going to go and be replaced by Zinedine Zidane now after the talk of Max Allegri sort of cooled a little bit. So there's who's it going to be between those two? But then it's come out and said, listen, Ronaldo's staying, Pirlo's staying. So we'll certainly see. Here it says that the top four finish now is in danger. But even worse for Juventus is the ultimatum by FIGC, where they said you've got to relinquish any ties to the Super League or be banned from Serie A. Not something you can imagine happening, but still, it's certainly something that's on the cards there. And it'll be interesting to see how stubborn Agnelli and the guys at Juventus are about this and see how that pans out. Again here, SOS Juve, it says in Tuttosport. Gravina said noticeably or out from Serie A. That message is there again. This is only saying that Pirlo's going to stay to the end of the season and obviously risk Juve missing out, where they stand to lose 80 million without the Champions League. It's also, of course, in Gazzetta, they quote a bit of a different sum. They say 90 million if they miss out in the top four, but it's pretty much there and thereabouts. And they run a piece here saying behind the crisis after 9 Serie A titles in a row. It's very difficult to see them as in a crisis. It's just, you don't even see it as a changing of the guard at the moment. It's the fact that, some things like this can't go on forever. There has to be some sort of change. There has to be a turnaround. There has to be some sort of personnel changeover. And this is just Juventus' time to do that. Here it says, Pirlo, the last games with Allegri and Zidane in pole. High tension for Nedved and Paratici because they're the ones claiming that Pirlo's going to stay. He's their choice. Does that mean something different for them too? Well, that's been talked about quite a bit. Inter on a diet, it says here in Gazzetta. The players are refusing to take this pay cut that Zhang has asked them to, and it's saying that Conte will only stay if Inter look like they can continue winning. Now, this is a bit of this is also basically another story in Corriere dello Sport where it says Zhang and Inter a useless appeal about the cost. The president insists he wants them to give up 2 months' wages, which we've just said. The players remain silent, and now before the game this midweek, Conte's press conference has also been cancelled. It's supposed to be about 25 million euros if the players take 2 months without pay, but it is just to bridge that gap until they can do something with the financing, which obviously is a big worry for Inter at the moment. And again, Tuttosport, Inter no pay cut. Do they risk having to sell any of their star players? I mean, this could be disastrous for Inter if the financial situation can't be resolved with Zhang, because it looks as though they're just about to start an era under Conte with Conte and Marotta, with the likes of Barella, Bastoni, Lukaku, Martinez, and already it looks like it could be on the rocks. So that could be fairly disastrous. But again, so one team who are smiling at the moment is Milan. They're saying here that the Champions League, potential Champions League win against that has been billed against Juventus could, if they do qualify now, could be a turning point for Gigi Donnarumma, and he looks like he could sign an extension. Tamori and Diaz are going to both stay as well, it says here, and they're going to assault Fiorentina for Vlahovic. But fortunately, Ibrahimovic's season is over. Is the only bit of bad news for them at the moment, because they obviously need to push home towards the end now. So that's going to be certainly one to watch. Donnarumma's future obviously been much debated. The ultras have much debated it. The fans, it looks as though, Donnarumma looks, in my eyes, I think he's going to end up staying at Milan with a much improved contract, which is, let's face it, all he really wanted anyway. Again, Tuttosport backed that up, saying, "Okay, Gigio, the Champions League, and you stay." So, also in Gazzetta dello Sport, it says here, obviously Napoli in the final sprint there, all saying that Gattuso was going to get them into the Champions League, and then he's going to leave with Luciano Spalletti looking like the most, the one potential guy he's going to take over. Osimhen launches a final sprint, very much a similar story in Corriere dello Sport. I think it's looking like it's nailed on. And finally, it's worth a note, Salernitana have now got Serie A promotion. But Claudio Lotito, who owns obviously Lazio and them, now must sell them. And unfortunately, tragically, in the celebrations, there was one person killed. Salerno in A, Lotito sells in Corriere dello Sport, followed up, and guess what? Salerno party, Lotito will sell. Interesting club to come up, great ground, really old-fashioned, iconic ground, very passionate supporters, so it's going to be really good to have them in Serie A and see who the ownerships end up being. Okay, that's me for the headlines for today, and it's ciao for now.